Improvements are on the way for a dangerous intersection in Hyannis. A grant will help the town pilot a new program that could lower heating costs. And we catch up with Police Chief Paul McDonald. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, August 4th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mannel. A project to improve a dangerous Hyannis intersection is moving forward. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation will present to the Conservation Commission this evening its plan for intersection improvements at Route 28 and Burses Way. New traffic signal systems, corridor improvements, shared use paths, sidewalks, and bike lanes are all part of the plan. The Conservation Commission meets tonight at 6:30 in the Town Hall hearing room. A pilot project is underway at the Old Colony pumping station in Hyannis that, if successful, could supplement the heating needs of several town buildings. DPW Director Dan Santos says a wastewater energy recovery unit has been installed in the pumping station.
Collect wastewater from certain neighborhoods and areas of town, and they go to a pump station, and then from there it gets pumped to the wastewater treatment plant. And so, building on this theory of heat transfer, we got a grant, a $50,000 grant from the state to put in a pilot piece of equipment that would take heat from the wastewater and then utilize that through a device to provide heat to a building like the town hall, and that's why that location is good, because it's close to the town hall. And it doesn't take much temperature differential for this to happen. So turns out that wastewater is always about the same temperature, and it's warmer than it's warm, basically. Right. And so the challenge in this device is that whereby in refrigerators and air conditioners and heating systems, they use either air or water or refrigerant. People may have heard of Freon. They don't make that anymore, but as the medium, we're using wastewater. So the challenge is that, well, wastewater is, it's not consistent. It has waste in it and all other kinds of other things. So how do you create a device that can, deal with all that stuff and have, longevity and also transfer the heat? So we've worked with a company that's a European company, and they've done some of this in Europe. It really hasn't been done here in the U.S. at all. So this is a very interesting project. So we got this device that was built in Europe. It's being installed in the next few days, and we'll be running our wastewater through it and see if we can extract this heat and see if we can use it for heating purposes. So it's a way, hopefully a very cheap way to provide at least some additional heat source to our system, if not entirely the heat. So I'm sure it's many years down the road before this would be a full application. But you got to test these things and pilot them, and this is a short-term test, just for a few months, because it's outside the building. Once it gets cold, you kind of, the whole point is to take that heat, and if it's cold out, you're going to be cooling that stuff before you even use it.
The town of Barnstable was awarded a 100% grant from the Wastewater Energy Recovery Assistance Program that's administered through the Department of Energy Resources to conduct the pilot. It's been a busy week for the Barnstable Police Department. Barnstable This Morning host Sarah Colvin talks with Police Chief Paul McDonald to get the latest. We share that interview with you now.
Busy weekend, Chief. Let's start by talking a little bit about something that occurred over on Nautical Way.
Friday night was extremely busy for the midnight shift. They first went to 52 Nautical Way at about 1:20 in the morning for a report of a loud party. Multiple officers went down there. They talked to the homeowner. The homeowner was extremely cooperative. We asked them to quiet down. We asked some of the guests to leave, and some of the other guests to move some of the vehicles because they're blocking the roadway. Everybody cooperated with the police. When the sergeant determined that everything was fine, met his satisfaction, the police officers left, but there was still a small group of individuals left at the residence. Then, unfortunately, at about 3:30 the same morning, we responded to the exact same location, 52 nautical away, for reports fired. For shots fired. Upon the arrival of the police officer, there were multiple cars fleeing the area, along with individuals running from the scene. The officers quickly responded. They determined that nobody was injured, nobody was hit. They searched the area, and they did find 4 casings, 4.22 caliber casings. So there were actually shots fired. Nobody was injured. The cameras, the entire neighborhood spoke to everyone. They did get a good description of a possible suspect. We know this was an after-hour party. Most of the individuals there were coming there from Puffer Bellies. It was a reggae night at Puffer Bellies. So we do have a good suspect, good description of a suspect, and a possible vehicle that was involved in this. But fortunately, no one was hit.
Indeed, and that certainly is the good thing. And unfortunately, I know this isn't the first time we've heard of incidents over on Nautical, right off of C Street, correct?
Correct. This road has been notorious for several years. There are several residents in the on the street that's been problem properties for us for several years. And this 52 Nautical Way, we will be contacting the owner of the property, and that will be identified as a problem property.
Great. Well, Chief, certainly it's the height of summer. Lots of people in and around Cape Cod. The roadway is very busy, and certainly noticed a number of accidents over the weekend, and unfortunately some are quite serious.
Right. We have a lot of accidents in the course of a week, but unfortunately this past Friday night, at the same time, the officer responded for shots fired at 3:16 in the morning. We responded to a serious motor vehicle accident at the intersection of Route 28 and Austin West Barnstable Road. Upon the arrival of the officers, 2 cars were heavily damaged. Both were off the roadway. There were 4 individuals. One went to Cape Cod Hospital. The other 3 were mid-flight out because of the seriousness of their injuries. Talking to one operator, he was traveling in a westerly direction on Route 28, traveling between 50 to 55 miles per hour when a vehicle came through the intersection of West Barnstable Road, and they T-boned each other. There were no brake marks. The vehicle sustained the total impact of another vehicle going 55 miles per hour, heavily damaged. They're extremely fortunate there was not a fatal accident involved. We are still trying to determine one of the vehicles ran the red light. We're just not sure which ones yet.
Indeed, and certainly doesn't seem like that would be too easy to determine.
Well, we're looking, unfortunately, happened right out by the West Villages police station. We have video out there, which we're trying to pull the video now, see if the cameras picked up the lights as the accident occurred. We have a camera that shoots out through that intersection, so hopefully we will have some type of film on the accident.
Sir, Chief, any word on the condition of the injured in that crash?
I do not have a follow-up. I do not know that.
Indeed. Well, Chief, certainly, again, like we said, have a very busy weekend, and people need to take care and caution when they're driving out on the roadways, especially this time of year, and also need to take care and caution to protect their homes. I understand that there was a breaking and entering yesterday. Tell me a little bit about that incident.
There was a beanie yesterday, about 1:30 yesterday afternoon. There was a beanie out Hyannis Road in Barnstable Village. Hyannis Road is an extension of Finney's Lane down by 6A. When the officer responded, they talked to the homeowner. The homeowner said that he interrupted the individuals as they actually kicked in the back door of the home. The homeowner was able to give a good description. The patrol force saturated the area. They found 2 individuals a shot distance away, and they were both positively ID'd as a homeowner as 2 individuals that forced their way into the house. He was not home. The house was unoccupied at the time as they were breaking in. He actually pulled into the driveway and saw him. So the house was unoccupied at the time. 2 individuals were identified. One, Alan Dempsey, who was described as being homeless, and the other one is Ian Machado from Middleborough, Mass. What's good about this is we've had a rash of beanies last couple of weeks out in the Centerville, Barnstable, Marston Mills area. One of these individuals does fit the general description of a suspect and other individuals, so we're trying to tie them in and see if these are all related. Right now, they're being held with no bail at the PD, and they're being charged with beanie daytime and attempt to commit a felony.
And you can hear from Police Chief Paul McDonald every Tuesday morning during our 1-hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will chat with Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce CEO Wendy Northcross. We'll talk with Ed Merrigan, Director of Veteran Services. Plus, we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mann.